From the man that brought you bees. And bees too. Electric Boogaloo.
Who on earth writes this shit?
Come, a deck. Full of bees. A bee deck.
No, seriously, the deck makes bees. Yeah, no, that's the point.
Hi, I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet. I'm a Magic the Gathering content creating equivalent of warm honey being dribbled down your piss hole. So what if you get a yeast infection? At least it felt good at the time, right? It's been a little while now, but when I first recorded this video, it was very close to GP Hartford. There were 2 Boggles decks, KCI combo, and a fucking Hollow One nonsense in that top 8. Some angry man on the internet tells you that the format is too fast and you can't play your favourite cards or your janky homebrew because it just can't compete in Modern. And in the context of entering a GP to cash the event, they might actually be right. But in the grand scheme of things, they're so fucking wrong. Play what you want, do what you want, and fuck 'em. Get ready to be wrecked, get ready to lose, get ready to be humble. Blood Braid Elf and Jace are too slow for the format. Sure thing, buddy. Let's play some bees. Our previous iterations of bees were red-green combo decks looking to Blasphemous and Volcano Hellion a shit ton of bees into existence and kill your opponent with it. It was nowhere near being tier 1, it wasn't competitive, but by fucking god was it fun. Bees! If you haven't seen the original videos, I recommend you either pause this video, head to the description below and click the links to them, or alternatively come with me on this adventure and follow the link at the end of the video to descend further into the abyss. As Nietzsche once said, he who fights monsters should be careful lest he become a monster himself, and if you gaze long enough into the abyss will gaze into bees.
Bees? How hard can it be? Bzzz.
This time around we've shifted from bee combo to mid-range bee prison.
Wow, the land of make-believe.
I decided that a Ponza list with half of the good guards taken out and a load of bee-related tomfoolery slapped in the midst of it would make for a tasty sandwich. It's like a chicken and bacon sandwich that you're familiar with, but filled with some extra spicy hot sauce that really brings the flavours to the top. That's a spicy meatball! Our plan of actions are as follows. Blood Moon people out of the game, make bees, and or tighten them in the face. We have Utopia Sprawls and Arbor Elves, your typical Ponza cards like Primal Command, Blood Moon and Inferno Titan. Blood Braid Elf is the latest hot addition to the archetype and it can cascade into bolts, mana accelerants, Viridian Longbows, Hornet Nests, Cunning Spark Mages and Trackers. We're still playing some number of Volcano Hellions as a way to kill our opponent or trade life for bees in an infernal blood ritual that would make Archmage Garfield himself giddy with excitement. Cunning Spark Mage and Longbow allow us to play a long game of putting out bees over time to roadblock aggro strategies and grind out our opponents. Ultimately, I settled on this particular build of mid-range bees for 2 reasons. Firstly, Blood Moon punishes the greedy mana bases of the format, like those found in humans and to a lesser extent Boggles. Hornet's Nest itself is also quite a good metagame card against the chunky thick boys and girls and threats of humans and hollowed ones. The nest blocks 4/4s or bigger very well, whilst the bees themselves that are left over are very good at holding back the onslaught of Mantis Riders and multiple phoenixes? Is that the term? But of course, before we jump into some games, a lower love for my patrons. Continued support to keep the channel going and growing. My biggest supporters are scrolling past the screen now. You guys are the MVPs. If you want to support the channel, follow the Patreon link in the cards that are shown on the screen at the moment or in the description below and get involved with our private Discord chat through becoming a patron. We talk all about all sorts of shit, mainly just shit though. Mainly just shit. And of course, a big shout out to the best sponsors a budding young content creator could ask for in this niche. If you're after digital cards, MTGO traders have you covered, whilst Kate Fair Games have got you covered for the physical needs with international shipping. Be sure to use my discount code GGGetWrecked for 8% off your orders as it supports the channel. And don't forget kids, I stream every Monday night at 7 PM BST over on twitch.tv/PleasantKenobi. Come hang out and give me your Twitch Prime subscriptions and I'll love you forever. Right, that's enough waffling, deck talk and sponsorship. Let's get on and be Be humble. We mulligan to 5 looking for some more proactive hands because MTGO fucking hates me, you vindictive piece of shit. We lead a forest into Utopia Spawn and realise that our opponent mulligans to 6, which makes us feel a bit better, and he suspends a search for tomorrow, which makes his Blood Moon in our hands seem very good and making his Valakut shit. It's obvious from a search for tomorrow as far as I'm concerned that this is some form of Scapeshift. We turn 3 a Blood Moon and set out to hopefully grind him out with the tracker. Our opponent plays an untapped Steam Vents thanks to the new Blood Moon rules, which suggests that he's either on the old school Rock Scapeshift deck that you don't really see anymore, or 4 to 5 colour Bring to Light variant. Either way, Blood Moon is back breaking for both of them. We play Tracker, play a land, make a clue and play the longbow. We are hellbent for leather, but Tracker turns a lot of our worst draws off the top into more gas. Tracker is a real beauty of a card and it's become one of my personal favourites for sure. Our opponent finds a basic island with his search, suggesting to me that it's Rug Shift. We attack and draw a card before damage with our Tracker. Turns out I tapped my mana like a fucking idiot, so we can't play this Arbor Elf we just drew and can't Primal Command next turn. Live and learn, Vince is bad. Our opponent plays a non-basic mountain. Lol.
Everyone loves a fucking mountain.
We draw and play Blood Braid Elf and cascade into Lightning Bolt and shoot our opponent in the face, or at least try to, before our man puts the bolt back in our hand. We attack for 7. Our opponent misses a land drop. We attack for 8 after cracking a clue, play some elves and pass the turn to look for more information from our opponent, and we have Bolt to kill him if he taps out for some life gain. He plays a Valakut, which is actually just a non-basic mountain, and concedes. We already have the read on what he was on, that he's on some sort of Scapeshift deck, but it's good to see him play the Valakut as it confirms 100% what we thought he was on. Free information is free information.
It's free real
information.
Our opponent turn 1 suspends search and we turn 1 sprawl. So far, so familiar. We attempt to resolve our Hornet's Nest, but he puts it back in our hands with an opportune remand. Old school Scapeshift lists used to look to play a strong tempo game with access to both remand and cryptic command to buy time to then go for the combo finish. I don't quite understand why Scapeshift moved away from the core blue counter spell and tempo like deck shell, but this version is quite the rarity these days. The straight red-green version is serving to play more linear game plans and sometimes playing mainboard obstinate Baloths, or it mixes in some sort of Titan Breach game plan as well as an alternative. I have a soft spot for any deck that used to play 3 to 4 copies of Cryptic Command, and I prefer this old variant from a warm, sentimental place. Our opponent keeps up 4 mana and passes, one of which is a plane, which means this is actually might be the Bring to Light version instead of the Rug version just gushed over a little bit. So we take the time to stick Impact Tremors and Viridian Longbow. This is better against cards like Bolt, because let's return Electros and Angle the Gods because we get to burn his face with the bees that they make. A 5th land from our opponent and he plays nothing. I have no idea what his hand is. Perhaps more ramp, perhaps counter spells. We draw Blood Moon, we just go for it, trying to stick it now whilst Cryptic Command isn't a possibility, although the Bring to Light versions don't tend to play Cryptic Command if I recall correctly. He remands it again. Fun. Another land from him with no play. We play and resolve Hornet Nest as he might be keeping up whatever counter magic he's got for the Blood Moon. We go in on flame slashing our own nest in order to create a clock and force a wrath from our opponent if he has access to one. Ultimately we are just dead to Scapeshift soon, so we have to hope he hasn't got it. 4 bees, 4 triggers, 4 throbs of excitement within my heated loins. He ramps some more and does very little. We cast a moon and, well, success. No cryptic, no counter magic.
Everyone loves a fucking mountain.
He ramps some more and does little else. All the ramp and nothing to do with it. We get in again and we just have to hope no Scapeshift off the top of my opponent. So what we do is we cast Primal Command to put a land back on top of his library in order to make sure he hasn't got it out to draw to. And he concedes. GG Command E. It looks like our deck is good when our opponent does absolutely nothing. Seems strong.
I bees in the trap, bees in the trap. I bees in the trap, bees in the trap.
I keep a rampy hand with a Pinger and Blood Braid Elf in it, and leave with Verdant, crack it for a forest and play the Arbor Elf to maximise our mana acceleration. Inquisition from our opponent steals away one of our Utopia spores, but we still get to turn to a Blood Braid Elf, so we're in a pretty solid position. Lightning Bolt is the find again, which is a little disappointing in some respects as we want to develop more board, but it is damage, and a clock's a clock. The way I phrase that reminds you of saying it is what it is. It's just a non-statement. It's the kind of thing the tired old men say to punctuate their miserable rants down the pub about contemporary politics. Pint in hand, old Tim is complaining about how back in his day men were real men and women didn't get to be managers and the world was a better place. And his friend, let's call him, I don't know, Albert nods along with the tirade. At the end of it all, once the point has been made, Albert has nothing to add because he's devoid of an opinion on anything that isn't football or immigration, the racist fuck. He just shakes his head and says, well, you know, Tim, it is what it is, really. To which Tim nods, I know, Albert, it is what it is. Twats. We have both Nest and Spark Mage in hand, so we're feeling good about this game. But then our opponent plays a Tide Hollow Skull and takes our Hornet's Nest as he respects the bees.
Bees?
We attack and he doesn't block. We play the Spark Mage. Gideon the Trolls enters the fray and begins to flog our beloved Blood Braid Elf. This is a problem. We ping his face with our pinger. We untap and draw a whole lot of nothing. We attack with the Elf, which he does block with the Skull out, and we finish it off with the Cunning Spark Mage to get our Nest back into hand and cast it. The combo is online. He cannot possibly win underneath this bee engine. Can you imagine anything more terrifying actually than an engine that spat out angry bees, like perpetually ongoing until stopped? The world would be drowned out in a swath of bees. Is it bees that guy spits out of his mouth in Shawshank Redemption? Is that bees? Locust? Who knows? He begins to fog our pinger and overwings our elf. Then we draw a land. He plays his Wall of Omens, Emblems, Gideon, and looks at our hand with Inquisition. He then casts a fucking Astronic Resonator. Yeah, I really hate to admit it as it puts a B in my bonnet, but his deck might be cooler than ours. We ping our Nest and make our first bee. We use our bee to knock off a point of loyalty and cast Inferno Titan.
Oh, hi, Mark.
We nuke Gideon dead. He then plays the best Titan, Sun Titan.
Oh, hi, Mark.
He gets back Gideon. That's gross. I'm not sure how we beat this, as Titan can get Gideon back every single turn. We draw Impact Tremors, which goes a long way towards dealing with all this nonsense. We need to put him just below 0, then kill Gideon all in our turn. We have a plan. He attacks with Sun Titan and copies his attack trigger, perhaps a little bit excitedly, getting back both a land and a Sculler, which can't get anything because our hand's empty. We slam a block in the way of the Sun Titan to make a load of bees, and ping the Nest before damage to achieve maximum beage. The thing is, I'm expecting a path to exile here, but there isn't anything. With the triggers on the stack, our opponent realises the error of his ways and concedes under the weight of the bees. GG, bees. Game 2, we might have a slow hand and find Blood Moon, so yeah, why not? We lead with an elf on turn 2 after drawing it, and it gets O-ringed. We then play a Blood Moon, only to have that also O-ringed. At this point, I wish our sideboard had Destructive Reverie in it and not the Ancient Grudges. Oh, look at this post if you cry every time. Blood Braid Elf brings her own bow, which is cool, I guess. We then see our opponent's signature card that plays very, very well with Astronic Resonator. Shit the bed. I am jealous. His deck seems fucking sweet. We play Impact Tremors and get in for 3, and then his pack kills our BBE. A corner has been turned. There's always that small chance that he has fucked this up and doesn't have a way to stop himself from dying from the pack.
But that's not very likely.
We bolt in response to an Inquisition and get hit in the face by a Shambling Vent. We draw Inferno Titan, which would be good if we weren't 1 mana off casting it. Come home, sweet elf. We miss you. Pact makes us to Skull the Titan, Shambling Vents hits us in the face. We draw another Impact Tremors, which feels pretty fucking shit. He draws some cards and flickers his own pact, and now I'm officially very jealous. Double Wall of Omens is pretty gas. Luckily we draw a Titan, trigger both Tremors, kill the Wisp and ping him for 2. It's all in vain, however, as he has a path to fucking exile in his hand, because he has it all. Press D to pay your respects, gentlemen. Tilted, I keep a 1-lander. Imagine the situation will be able to Blood Moon him and ride it to victory. We don't draw a second land and play Tremors. Sculler takes the bolt out of our hand. We play a bow and then have our Utopia's Pool of Oblivion ringed, which feels pretty fucking rough. Some might say we were punished. We never get beyond 3 mana at this point throughout the rest of the game, and I die to Demonic Pact triggers being stronically resonated. Fuck my old boots. Don't let people tell you that Blood Moon is good against Tron. The moment you cast it, your whole deck melts into a puddle of piss, and the pressure that you want to put behind it slumps into a limp-dicked impression of a Magic deck. They will cast an Ugin off of 8 lands. Everyone you know and love will desert you, and you will die a lonely death. Believe me, I've seen it. I've witnessed it time and time again. Fuck off, Tron. Okay, one last go with this variant of the deck then. So we keep a rampy hand with a Blood Braid Elf and this fucking bow. Maybe I shouldn't be playing it, maybe it's too cute. We open with Sprawl and our opponent leads basic swamp into Visceracy, which is just some form of budget deck, or vampires, but I'm unsure as to what. We spend the turn deploying as much mana as possible, another Sprawl, 2 elves, and a bow. He plays a Retribution of the Ancients. The Brews are out in force today in the 1v1 rooms, and their decks tend to be a bit better than ours on the whole. We cascade into impact tremors off of the elf and get in for some damage. We use a bow on our elf to kill the seer to avoid random combo kills out of fucking nowhere. Our opponent plays a Giraffe's Messenger, and the theme of our opponent's game plan becomes abundantly clear. He wants the machine gunners with the sack outlet, retribution, and undying creatures. Seems pretty cool. We attack in with a Wolf 1 ramped elf to do our maximum damage. He untaps, plays a seer, and scoops up in our next combat step as we were just too aggressive and too fast for his engine to get moving properly. In game 2, we keep it 2-lander with the Utopia Spawn and feel good. Turn 1 seer from our opponent, we leave an elf to accelerate as fast as possible and pray doesn't have a push. No push, but an abrupt decay instead. Whilst that still hurts, it makes no difference how we sequence, as a sprawl would have bit the dust too, and arguably a sprawl is better if we draw another up further from the line. We sprawl, then play a Scoos. Scoos out of the board is very good against undying creatures, as it can eat them with the trigger on the stack and get rid of them permanently and stop him from comboing off. Our opponent deploys a Stranglehold Geist and immediately sacrifices him in order to pump him with undying whilst we have no mana up. Retribution comes down and we are close to having his combo engine online, with Scoos being the only thing between us and a machine gun of -1/-1 effects. We draw Flame Slash and decide to kill the Geist now and gobble up the Scoos before getting into the red zone. Our opponent deploys a Blood Artist, sacks it to square 1, pings us, enables Morbid and Tragic slips our Scoos to death.
Hey, that's pretty good.
We get slapped for 1 upside the head. We play a Tracker and play a land to get a clue. He resolves a fucking Grave Pact like he's playing Commander over there. He sacks his Seer in order to kill our Tracker, which seems like a fair trade. We draw a card at end of turn off the clue, untap, deploy another Sprawl and play a Spark Mage lining up for a Titan next turn. There are no sign of any bees this match yet. We draw even more Cyborg taking from the cage, but I decided to just slam a Titan instead to maximise damage output. This one's a concession, a victory, but a B-less one, so was it really a victory at all? In summary, this version of Bees is okay, and Blood Moon's a fun card, at least for one person at the table, but I feel that it just doesn't generate enough honey, money, or bee-related value for my liking. Was it a complete failure? Well, of course not. Bees were made and brought into this world that would have never otherwise existed. Don't forget, kids, we are a product of our experiences and our successes and our mistakes, no matter how unbelievable those tales might be. I already have a bigger, stronger, but by no means faster and probably shitter and less competitive version of this deck in the works. Not the mid-range one, but a new bee brew that I'll bring to the channel very soon. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but let's put it this way. Bees may have lost to this battle, but they may still sting their way to victory in the war. So as always, thank you for watching. If you like the video, be sure to subscribe, drop me a like and a comment, and tell me what you would like to see next. Want me to revisit an old meme or archetype? Let me know. Want to see me tackle a particular card or format? Again, sound off in the comment section below and let me know. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter to be able to see more of what's happening with me, including when I'm streaming with impromptu streams. Of course, follow me on Twitch too, as I stream every single Monday at 7 PM BST in the evening. If you are in GP Birmingham next week, be sure to come say hi to me in the Spellstoning area, or if you see me wandering around looking lost. In the meantime, be humble, and I'll see you all very, very soon.
We